Thanks everybody for joining us today. Appreciate that very much. Joining me here is Jim McNeese, Chairman of the Kansas State Board of Education, and Dr. Randy Watson, the Kansas Commissioner of Education. As you know, the Board of Education is a separately elected body in the state of Kansas, and Dr. Watson works for the Board of Education, the Commissioner of Education. I want to thank both of them for joining us here today. For decades, education funding in Kansas has been the source of, unfortunately, litigation and conflict. That does not serve our students well. It's time for us to work together to develop a school funding system that works for Kansas students, for their parents, and for educators. Today, I'm asking leaders in Kansas and the education community and across the nation to work with us on developing a new education funding system proposal to put in front of the Kansas legislature this next year. One that supports high quality education for all of our Kansas students. One that's predictable. One that rewards quality outcomes for our students, and one that spends money where our citizens want it spent. Our discussion needs to include also more than just funding. It needs to be about innovation and creativity, and ensuring that no student's opportunity for a successful future is limited by the zip code in which they live. Time for much needed school finance reform is now. Our vision for Kansas students is centered on a belief that a successful K-12 education provides students with skills, knowledge, character, and ability to succeed in life, and that every student deserves that opportunity to succeed. Programs that we put forward, like expanded technical education opportunities, reading roadmap, and jobs for America's graduates, make a positive difference in helping prepare our students to graduate with the skills they need to succeed in life. We also need to measure the effectiveness of our school system. How can we work to improve student achievements without a consistent measurement that can be compared to results across the nation? These are questions we must answer, and that is among the reasons I want the expertise from leaders around the state and nation as we move forward. How do we prepare Kansans to succeed in an increasingly competitive world? To do all this, we must give teachers the flexibility to teach, with decisions on how best to educate students made by schools and parents at the local level. Our students deserve the best and the most innovative teachers, and those teachers should be rewarded for their efforts. A new funding system must increase the percentage of state funding that gets to the classroom. This is all an ambitious vision for K-12 education in Kansas, but our students deserve no less. They are the future. That's why I've asked the education community and leaders from around Kansas and the country to come to the table and share their expertise. We look forward to working with the legislature and the education community in the coming months to identify opportunities and ideas that ensure our Kansas students continue to receive the best education possible. With that, as I've mentioned, joined here with by the chairman of the Kansas State Board of Education, Jim McNeese. He'll make some comments, and Dr. Watson will, and then be happy to take your questions.
Thank you, Governor Brownback. I appreciate, and we appreciate as a board, the opportunity to share with you and be a stakeholder in this process. It's a very critical and challenging issue, the budget. Now, as a state board, we have worked vigorously over the last year and a half with Commissioner Watson to go out to the state and find out what it was that the state of Kansas, the citizens of Kansas, educators, business, parents, grandparents, educators at the post-secondary level, what they expected and what they wanted from their schools, for their students. And this is a great first step in bringing the governor's office and the legislature into the Kansas Can process. Kansas, in so many different ways, is changing. The Kansas Can Challenge, that Kansas lead the world in the success of each student, is making schools rethink how they're designed, getting away from a systems approach to individual students. And that has to be accounted for in any new budget, designs. Kansas will lead the world in the success of each student. if indeed we do partner together successfully to bring this whole issue of budget, expectations, and needs for the future together. And I applaud the governor's effort to bring us together like this and to move us forward in a positive way to solve this challenge that we have for our state. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Governor, for the opportunity to be here with you. We, as Jim mentioned to you, we embarked upon a process a little bit over a year and a half ago where we asked Kansans what they wanted in their new in schools and for kids, and we heard loud and clear in what Kansas State calls the largest qualitative study ever undertaken by this state. That data was given to the state board, and the vision, as Jim has articulated, that we will lead the world with the success of each student. There are a few times in our history where things come into alignment that give us opportunities to craft the future. We have a new federal law, ESSA. We have a new vision for Kansas. We're going to be formulating a new school finance formula, and many other things that are coming together at just the right time. And I appreciate the governor's initiative in asking education organizations and the people of Kansas to weigh in on this. Wherever I go throughout the United States and throughout Kansas, our strength are our people, our educators, and everyone working in schools daily to assist kids. And I have confidence that they will weigh in and give great input, not just like they did in where we should go with education, but also how we should fund